Damar Hamlin just revealed this shocking truth that the world doesn't want you to know. On January 2nd, on Monday Night Football between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals, Bills safety Damar Hamlin made a routine tackle and then collapsed on the field. The Bills training staff rushed out onto the field where they assessed the situation and realized that they needed to begin CPR. An ambulance was rushed out onto the field, they loaded him up, and he was taken to a local hospital. Thankfully, Damar recovered, and 9 days later he was able to leave the hospital and go home. Seeing all this happen on live TV during this unprecedented moment in NFL history, it sent shockwaves throughout the sports world and even beyond. While the team was waiting for the ambulance to come, you could see them kneeling and worrying about their teammate. Both the Bills and the Bengals would gather around, and tears of worry and confusion were streaming down their faces. They were hugging one another and other members of the opposite team. They gathered in circles and prayed, all unsure of what was going to happen to their teammate and their fellow football player. The anchors, while still having to fill a 3-hour time slot, unsure of if this game was going to continue, would talk about their feelings and express their concerns and even offer up prayers. You could see very clearly there was worry and uncertainty on their faces. And as the anchors offered up their prayer and for the family and for Damar and for their teammates, and this was seen as a regular thing that night and even in the next several days, of celebrities, other NFL players, other anchors and public figures offering up their prayer. But it wasn't until actual ESPN anchor Dan Orlovsky prayed on national TV that we realized that this was something more than just the normal tragedy and the good faces of celebrities saying, "Oh, our prayers are with you, our thoughts and prayers are with you." What we see with this whole situation, that it reveals a truth about us as a people, about us as a culture. This truth is that we know that there's a God. Not just a higher power or some distant deity that's watching over everything, but there's a God who is intimate with his creation. There's a God who is concerned with his creation, and that he even has the ability to work in our lives and answer prayers. You see, deep inside us, we all know there is a God that we can pray to, and he will hear us, and he will even answer our prayers. See, this truth comes out in times like this and in tragedies. It reveals itself. But we've known this for hundreds of years. See, Paul even talks about this in the book of Romans in chapter 2, where he says, "For when Gentiles who do not have the law by nature do what the law requires, they are a law to themselves. Even though they do not have the law, they show that the work of the law is written on their hearts, while their conscience also bears witness, and their conflicting thoughts accuse or excuse them." You see, the Gentiles, those who didn't grow up with the Jewish law, those like probably the most of us watching this video, we didn't know that we weren't trained with the law, but yet deep down inside us, we know what's right and wrong. See, while this is talking about the law, this is talking about nature, this truth is that we are inherently created and born with this knowledge that there's something bigger than us. There's something out there. There's something that gives us purpose and meaning. There's this God who had to create us all. Paul says earlier in Romans, in actually chapter 1, he says, "For his invisible attributes, his being God, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made. So they are without excuse." They, being us, humanity, are without excuse, for what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. You see, while we may want to say that we don't know if there's a God, we don't believe in a God, we can't really say that because our creation around us shows that there's a God. It reveals to us that there has to be something more than just some chaotic happenstance that caused all of this. There has to be a God. Yet inside us, we know that God can't just be a distant deity. He can't just be some power that started it all and left it to itself. We know that inside of us, there's something longing for more. There's something longing for something deeper. We long for the God who made us because we're broken without him. See, the truth is that we see things like Damar Hamlin collapse on the field because our world is broken and we are broken. Our hearts can fail, our minds can fail, our bodies will one day fail. And it's all because we broke it. Humanity broke creation. Humanity broke what God made perfect. God didn't make us this way originally. He created us to be perfect and to not have hearts that fail and not have bodies that will one day break down. But yet we rebelled against him. Adam and Eve, the first beings, humans that were created, rebelled against the God who loved them because they thought they could be like God. They thought God was hiding something from them. And that rebellion shattered all of creation. And God, being a loving God, didn't want to leave us in that state. So instead, he sent his son. Sent his son to live the life we couldn't live and die a death that we deserved to die. Offering us a chance to be with him again. Offering us the opportunity to have perfect relationship with God again. To fix what we originally broke. You see, we all know that there's a God because inherently inside us, we were created to know that. But we want to replace that God with other things. We replace it with our own selves, our own desires, our ambitions. We replace that God with money or power. We replace it with jobs, stuff. But what we realize is the only thing that can actually fill that emptiness, the only thing that can fill that void inside us is God himself, is Jesus Christ. And so guys, I've created this channel as a way to come with you and have you come with me on a journey as we try to find what ultimately satisfies. As a soul thirsting for something more, thirsting for something greater, for a living water that I can't find here. I want you to join me as we walk through this together. Let me know what you think about celebrities and anchors and stuff praying live on TV or praying on their social posts. Let me know what your thoughts are on these celebrities who will offer thoughts and prayers during tragedy, but yet the rest of their lives act like there's no such thing as a God. Let me know what you think. Do you see God in creation or not? Are you still skeptical? Maybe you're not sure. Maybe you don't believe in a God. Let's have a conversation down below. Hey, also do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to get this message out, and I'd love to have a conversation with as many people as possible. So yeah, like this video, subscribe to the channel, do all those fun things, share it on your social, and find me at all of my socials at A Thirsting Soul. And let's have a conversation. Let's go on this journey together. See you guys next time.